You have prayed the long prayers and the short ones. You have planned, listed, bargained, pleaded, reasoned. You have tightened your jaw and gripped your mind until it hummed like a wire in a storm. And the knot is still there. You have tried to outthink your pain and outwork your fear. You have dabbed your wounds with 1,000 ideas. And still, some unfinished place within you aches for a touch that effort has not given. Listen now. First, I will tell you something that you must remember. When you sit down, you cannot get God to do your will. There is nothing that you can do that will sway God or move God out of its orbit. God is already being God. You have tried long enough in the old way. At the very edge of your effort, when the tools drop from your hand, you are standing at the doorway of grace, if you will stop trying to fix and learn to behold. Not by might nor by power. Do you hear? Not by the arm of flesh, not by mental clutching, not by spiritual bribes. Be still and know that God is God. And you say, "But if I do not fix it, who will?" That is the bondage speaking. That is the mind making a religion of control. Search yourself. Have you not made a shrine of your problem solving? Have you not counted your fears like beads on a rosary? What if this? What if that? What if they? Until anxiety became your liturgy. Stop it. Give up every single attempt to use God as medicine for a mortal scheme. You cannot persuade the infinite to serve the finite. The invisible to your senses is not a blank. The invisible is presence. It is not absence waiting for your order. It is fullness revealing itself to the one who will behold rather than demand. Beholding is not escape. Beholding is sanity at the very point where effort collapses. Beholding refuses the lie that more tension brings more life. Beholding says, "I will not finitize God with my plan. I will not press the universe into my shape. I will stand within the presence that already is." Hear this correction and be comforted by it. God will not change its way. You must change your way of approaching God. You must change your ways to receive God's grace. The moment you stop I, me, mine, that releases you. The moment you stop chasing God and let God catch up to you, you will feel it. Relax. Relax. Every sense of strain begins to loosen when you yield the compulsion to manage outcomes. My peace I give unto you. It says give, not sell, not trade, not earn. I am not offering you a new technique to fix life. No more tricks, no more levers. I am offering you a posture of heart and mind, quiet, receptive, forgiving, released from your private rule book, that lets grace accomplish what effort could not. This is the orientation. These are the stakes. Either you continue the false worship of control, or you lay it down and step to the threshold where the invisible presence waits to be beheld. Stop. Be at peace. You have tried long enough. Now let the presence be what it is. Now let us lay down the first law, and it will not bend for you or for me. God is already being God. There is nothing that you can do that will sway God or move God out of its orbit. You cannot coax omnipresence. You cannot tempt principle. You cannot frighten love. And every time you sit down to bargain, if I do this, then will you do that? If I say it 10 times, will you be more likely to hear? You are not praying. You are finitizing God. You are drawing a little circle around the infinite and calling it a person with moods and a schedule. Stop it. God is no respecter of persons. God is not late. God is not early. God is God. Listen carefully. The worst of our desperate prayers rests on a hidden insult. That God can be improved by our pressure. That God has withheld something and might release it if we plead more cleverly, suffer more convincingly, or parade our worthiness a little brighter. That is the old idolatry, making an image, but this time a mental image, of a deity who favors the insistent and ignores the quiet. Do not finitize God. I call that finitizing God. You do not have a private God. The law is the law, for friends, for enemies, for saints, for sinners. My peace I give unto you. Give, not ration, not auction, not trade. The giving is steady. The question is not whether God gives. The question is whether you receive. So let us state it plainly. You cannot bring God to your problem, but you can bring yourself into God's presence. You cannot drag the sun to your window, but you can open the blinds. You cannot move the orbit, but you can move your chair into the light. What changes is not divine willingness, it is human consciousness, your receptivity, your attunement, your surrender of personal will. Be still and know that I am God. Not be busy and convince, not be tense and manage. Be still and know. The moment you feel yourself tightening, stop your meditation. You are making it a mental thing. Relax. Relax. Let the room of your mind exhale. Let the grip release. The light is already shining. And what, then, is your work? Not outward manipulation, inward release from the claim that you are the fixer. Not, God, fix this to my design, but, Father, align me with thy design. Put up thy sword, not by might nor by power, but by spirit. Search yourself. Am I trying to move God, or am I moving my awareness to God? Am I attempting to purchase favor, or am I forgiving as I would be forgiven, yielding as I would be led? Correct what you can in your own alignment. Your grudges, your fears, your self-importance, and then be at peace. The lever that moves your world is not pressure upon heaven. It is the willingness to be moved by heaven. Stop chasing God. Let God catch up to you. Relax. Relax. Now you will find that peace precedes the change, and the change arrives without your strain. For grace has accomplished what effort could not. And now let me tell you where the bondage hides. It is not in the condition. It is not in the person across from you. It is not in the bank book or the diagnosis. The bondage is in the mind's tightening. The problem is not out there as power. The bondage is the mind's tightening, and tightening cannot receive grace. You have been trying to fix, and fixing is only fear wearing a clever hat. What is this fixing posture? It is the mental clutching that rehearses outcomes all night and scripts the dialogue you hope will protect you in the morning. It is predicting consequences and arranging 1,000 counters to imagined threats. It is managing perceptions. How do they see me? What must I say to keep my place? And it is forcing timelines by Friday, by noon, by now, now, now. It is the little manager inside, moving pieces on a board that is not yours to command. And beneath that restless theater is the same drumbeat. Fear of loss, fear of uncertainty, fear that life is not safe unless you are in charge. Search yourself. Are you not afraid that if you loosen your hand, the whole world will break? Are you not afraid that if you do not speak, you will be forgotten? If you do not push, you will be passed by. If you do not calculate, you will be caught unprepared? That is not wisdom. That is fear. Hear me. The mind that fixes cannot behold. The mind looks for objects, for causes, for proofs it can audit. It wants a reason it can file and a promise it can notarize. But presence is not an object. Presence is not an argument. Presence is not another idea among ideas. Be still and know that I am God is not a mental exercise. It is the end of mental strain. Take no thought for your life. Do you hear? Not take brighter thoughts. Take no thought. The moment you use the mind to get God, you have missed God and trapped yourself in the very net you wove. Let me make it simple, and let it be practical. Your body will tell you when the mind has taken the reins. The breath becomes shallow. The jaw sets. The shoulders creep up. The belly hardens. The hands close. That tightening is the bell. The instant you notice it, stop. Immediately. Put up thy sword. Do not argue with the thought. Do not paste a positive label over it. Do not conduct a debate with shadows. Stop. Let the breath fall. Unclench the hands. Loosen the brow. Say within yourself, not as a spell but as a refusal to continue the struggle, I will not force. I will behold. This is not passivity. This is obedience. This is you stepping out of the mind's courtroom where there is no acquittal and into the holy quiet where grace can be felt. Relax. Relax. The mind can manage a plan, but it cannot touch the invisible. Cease tightening. Be still and know. And as you practice this simple pause, you will discover that fear subsides not because you solved it, but because you stepped out of its reach. Now we come to the word you must not misuse. Behold. What is beholding? It is a quiet, obedient attention that refuses to tell reality how it must appear. It is not you painting a picture for God and then inviting God to color it in. It is not you holding your breath until heaven agrees with your outline. Beholding is the holy pause in which you relinquish the author's pen, sit down in stillness, and let the page be written by the presence that already is. Be still and know that I am God. Not know a plan, not know an outcome, know God. And let that knowing be enough for this moment. You will say, but it looks like nothing. Yes, to the eyes trained on effort, it will look like nothing. And yet, it is the most radical act a human can perform. It is the refusal to worship your own effort. It is the end of the little sovereignty that has worn you out. When you behold, you lay down the claim that you are the mover, the fixer, the savior of your cause. Put up thy sword. Not by might, nor by power, but by spirit. In that surrender, something deeper than resolve rises, a peace not made by you, a wisdom not invented by you. Here is your replacement formula. It is simple enough that a child can do it, and profound enough to free a sage. The instant you notice the tightening, stop. Stop the inner speech. Stop the planning. Stop even the holy-sounding petitions. Rest in a single recognition. God is. Let it be bare. Do not add, therefore this will happen, or therefore they must change. God is. Say it once, gently, not as a charm, but as a release. Let it be enough for one breath, for 1 minute. If more thought returns, you do not fight it. You simply return to the recognition. God is. Do not mistake this for blankness. Beholding is not vacancy. It is awareness filled with trust. It is not the mind manufacturing calm. It is the soul consenting to reality. You are awake, attentive, like one listening for a familiar footstep in the hall. You are not visualizing scenes, not forcing images, not commanding results. Take no thought for your life. Take no thought, take God. Sit quietly. Feel the weight of the body on the chair, the breath unlabored, the hands unclenched. Let the room be as it is. Let the moment be as it is. In that soft, alert consent, the presence announces itself, not as a spectacle, but as a settledness that you could not make. And what are the first fruits? Strain begins to leave the body. The inner tempo slows. The jaw loosens. The compulsion to intervene loses its authority. The storylines thin out. The fever of outcomes cools. You will notice a tenderness where there was a verdict. Forgiveness will seem possible. Sometimes a next step will appear without debate. Sometimes no step appears, and you are content. Both are signs you have beheld and not fixed. For peace arrives first, and then, without your strain, life rearranges. This is the door that opens without force. Stop. Behold. God is. Relax. Relax. Let grace do what your effort could not. Now we take the pivot that ends the long weariness. You have been praying from a very small center. My problem, my timing, my outcome. And as long as the little self is the axis, the wheel of strain turns. The personal pronoun is the trap. I, me, mine. Listen to it in your own prayer, and you will hear the tension it breeds. God, give me, save me, hurry for me. That is not communion. That is a private negotiation with the infinite. Stop it. Do not finitize God. You are not an exception to law, and you do not need to be. God is already being God. God is no respecter of persons. Grace is not a ration measured by your deserving. Grace is the nature of being. The sun does not choose its windows. It shines. The sea does not bargain with the shore. It moves by law. Spirit does not pause to weigh your case. Spirit is already in operation for friends, for enemies, for saints, for sinners, for the just, for the unjust. One life, one love, one law. Your freedom is not in persuading that to favor your corner. Your freedom is in stepping out of the corner into the all. The moment you stop I, me, mine, you step into the universal presence where grace is operating without your permission. Be still and know that God is God. Relax. Relax. Why does this heal? Because when the personal self stops claiming authorship, it stops resisting the way spirit is already functioning. Not by might, nor by power. Not by the arm of flesh arranging outcomes, but by spirit realized as all in all. Put up thy sword. Do not edit reality with your preferences. Do not sit in judgment on the hour. Yield the pen. Let this be your inner line, simple, clean, and exact. Not my will, thy will be done. In me, as me, through me. Say it softly. Say it honestly. Say it until the shoulders drop and the breath remembers its own rhythm. Not my will, thy will be done. in me, as me, through me. With those words, you cease asking God to serve you, and you consent to be the instrument by which God is revealed. Make it practical. The instant you hear the pronoun rising, my plan, my fear, my vindication, stop. Stop. Let the jaw unhinge, the hands open. Widen the frame. Include the one you feared. Include the one you opposed. Include the city, the stranger, the future you do not know. Pray for them as for yourself. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Are we doing that? Search yourself. Is there one face you still hold outside the all? Bring it in. Release your special grievance. Release your special claim. The all-inclusive presence does not flow through a shut fist. Now behold what happens when you stop demanding a private miracle. Peace arrives first. The invisible becomes visible as a quiet rightness in the midst of unfinished circumstances. A next step presents itself without inner debate, or no step presents itself and you rest without guilt. A door closes and there is no panic. A call comes that you did not orchestrate. An old fear dissolves without a fight. You will know you have shifted when your prayer is no longer, fix this for me, but use me, reveal thyself through this. And life, without your strain, reorganizes around the presence it had all along. Relax. Relax. Let this be your rule this hour. Not my will, thy will be done. In me, as me, through me. In that surrender, the small self disappears into the all, and grace accomplishes what effort could not. Be at peace. And now, before you ask for another sign, bring honesty into the room. Suffering persists not because God withholds. It persists where you stand outside the law of love, outside forgiveness, outside integrity, outside the simple obedience that keeps the channel clear. God is already being God. The law is already in operation. My peace I give unto you. Give, not sell. If peace does not yet register, do not accuse heaven. Search yourself. Have you placed yourself just to the side of the stream? Have you held yourself outside of it? Search yourself. Are you forgiving? Or are you cherishing the bruise because it proves your case? Are you still making an enemy to justify your tension? Are you feeding on a story you would starve if you stopped telling it? Are you fearing the future as if God were not in it? Are you rehearsing the past as if it were power? Are you turning your prayer into a courtroom where you win and they lose? Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Are we doing that or only reciting it? Have you prayed for your enemy? For the one who disappointed you? For the one who took your place? Have you even once asked that the same grace you seek flood their life? Are you withholding kindness because you call it wisdom? Are you keeping a small dishonesty because you call it necessity? Are you giving with a string on it? Are you judging in secret and smiling in public? Are you postponing the apology until they grovel? Are you carrying a private weapon in the heart while telling heaven you want peace? Put up thy sword. Do not hear this as punishment. Hear it as alignment. The river is running. You stand in it or you do not. Tightening shuts the gate. Forgiveness opens it. Condemnation darkens the lens. Honesty cleans it. The arm of flesh thinks, if I let go, I will lose. Spirit knows, let go, and you will receive. Not by might, nor by power. Not by rehearsing, not by defending, not by arranging outcomes in your head. By surrender into law, by attunement to love. Let us make it practical. If, in your search, you find an obstruction, do not condemn yourself, correct yourself. Now. If there is an apology to make it. If there is a debt to repay, repay it. If there is a story to stop telling, stop it. If there is a bitterness to release, release it. If there is a gift to send in secret, send it. If there is a name you spit when no one is listening, wash your mouth with blessing. If there is a fear of tomorrow, put it down and say, take no thought. If there is a tether to the past, cut it and say, behold, I make all things new. Do not dramatize the correction. Do it and be done. Then, at once, return to stillness. Be still and know that I am God. Relax. Relax. Every moral adjustment without stillness becomes pride. Every stillness without moral adjustment becomes pretense. Join them. Correct, then rest. Rest, then behold. This is the law for you now. Grace is not withheld by God. It is resisted by misalignment. Where you find resistance, remove it. Where you cannot change a person or a scene, let it go. Correct what is yours to correct, your resentment, your fear, your duplicity. Release what is not yours to rule, their choices, tomorrow's weather, yesterday's page. Stop. Return to the simple recognition, God is. Let the body loosen. Let the breath fall. Let the mind unclench its teeth. And you will know you have come back into the stream when peace arrives first, quiet and undeserved. Then, without your strain, life will find its new order. Relax. Relax. Be at peace. Now I will make the gate so plain that you cannot miss it. Your body is the bell. The very instant you feel the chest tighten, the jaw set, the brow knot, the stomach harden, stop right there. Do not take one more step into the mind's courtroom. That is the alarm. Hear it and obey. Put up thy sword. Your first duty is not to solve. Your first duty is to return to peace. Stop. Rest. Loosen. Be still. Let go. Relax. Relax. Let it be physical, simple, exact. Release the jaw. Let the tongue fall from the roof of the mouth. Soften the eyes back into the sockets. Drop the shoulders as if you were hanging a heavy coat on a peg. Let the hands open in the lap. Uncurl the toes. Feel the seat hold you. Feel the ground consent to your weight. Let the breath fall of its own accord. Do not manage it. Do not count it. Do not correct it. Allow it. Say within, once and softly, not as a charm, but as a yielding, God is. Then be still and know. Not by might, nor by power. And I warn you, do not turn this into mental meditation. Do not try to think your way to God. The moment you begin composing sentences to reach heaven, you are strengthening the thinker and missing the presence. Do not finitize God with technique. Take no thought for your life. Take no thought. Yield thought. Let the stream of words pass without your hand on it. If a prayer forms, let it form by itself. If silence comes, honor it. Be still and know that I am God. What will you notice? The inner speech quiets, not because you forced it, but because it has no audience. The breath softens as if someone opened a window. The urgency to text, to call, to decide now eases out of the body. Timelines lose their terror. A clean clarity shows itself without effort, one next step or none at all. The heart grows tender where it was armed. The face of the one you opposed appears without the old heat. The room itself feels wider. Peace arrives first, then life will rearrange without your strain. Practice this where it counts. In conflict. Before you answer the email, before you return the call. Stop. Rest. Loosen. Be still. Let go. Relax. Relax. In finances, when the number frightens you, sit down and return to the gate. Do not spend, plot, or plead until peace touches you. In health news, when the report lands, do not run to the library of fear. Come to stillness until the body remembers it is held. Put up thy sword, not by might, nor by power, but by spirit. You will ask, will the bill pay itself if I relax? Will the pain remove itself? Do not argue with shadows. Alignment first, action after, and only if led. Relaxation is not a luxury. It is obedience to law. It is the mechanism by which the mind releases control and becomes receptive to grace. Do this a dozen times a day. Each tightening is a doorway, and you will prove the promise. My peace I give unto you. Stop. Be still. Let go. Relax. Relax. Be at peace. Now we turn from teaching to prayer. Let the room inside you grow quiet. Let the grip fall from the mind. You are not here to get God to do your will. You are here to yield yourself to God's will. This is the hinge on which your life turns. Not by might, nor by power. Put up thy sword. Be still and know that I am God. Father, I lay down the old prayer. Never more will I ask you to change this person, this body, this circumstance to suit my fear. Never more will I try to move you out of your orbit. Never more will I bargain, perform, or plead for private advantage. I release my plans, my deadlines, my urgencies. I release the demand to be seen, to be first, to be right. I release the hidden wish that others be corrected while I am excused. I put up my sword. I stop finessing you with my preferences. God is already being God. Father, let my prayer be simple. Reveal thyself. Make me aware. Let me feel thy presence. Let thy will be done in me, as me, through me. Use me. Use me to reveal thy peace. Use me to reveal thy mercy. Use me to reveal thy wisdom where I have none of my own. Use my hands, my words, my silence, my seeing. If there is a work, let it arise from peace. If there is no work, let me rest in peace. Not my will, thy will be done, in me, as me, through me. And because thy presence is for all, I refuse to weaponize prayer. I bless, I do not curse. I bless my friends, and I bless my enemies. I bless the one who misunderstood me, and the one I have misunderstood. I bless the one who prospered where I wished to prosper. I bless the one who withheld and the one who gave. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Let it be real in me now. If there is any face I have kept outside the all, I bring it in and bless it. Let the same light that heals me flood them. Let no good that comes to me be paid for by their diminishment. Thou art no respecter of persons. Be thyself in us all. I release outcomes. I release timelines. I release the story of how it must look. Take no thought for your life. Let that command be my freedom. My prayer is not, fix this to my outline, but make thyself known here. If there is a change to be made, let it be the change of my consciousness from control to receptivity. If there is a step to be taken, lead it from within peace. If there is no step, keep me still in trust. My peace I give unto you. Let me receive what is already given. Relax. Relax. Now we end the words. No more pushing. No more phrases to pry open heaven. Behold. Quiet, attentive, surrendered. God is. Let the breath fall. Let the body rest. Let the mind release its clutches. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still. Now you must watch, not test. You must notice, not demand. Do not hurry the fruit. Do not schedule the harvest. My peace I give unto you. Gift, not wage. The first sign is simple and it is universal. Peace arrives first. The timelines loosen. The insistence in your voice thins out. The body remembers how to exhale. The future stops shouting. You find yourself able to sit without arranging outcomes, and in that looseness, ideas present themselves without your strain, quietly, like birds returning when the noise ceases. You will notice that resentment does not taste the same. The case you have kept rehearsing loses flavor. The name that used to tighten the chest appears, and there is space around it. You can bless where you once bit your lip. Forgiveness is not a performance. It simply becomes possible. And then, almost without decision, one right action appears, unspectacular, exact, near at hand. You make the call you had feared, and there is no drama. You mend a small omission, and the tangle eases. You do not push to make a sign. You consent to the next faithful step that peace reveals. Learn to discern this. Grace does not always change the scene at once. It changes the government within. Fear is removed from the throne. The same person may still sit across the table. The same figures may still sit on the page, but the inner rule is different. Be still and know that I am God becomes a felt authority, and the arm of flesh stops frightening you. Not by might, nor by power. Not by rehearsed speeches, not by armored silence. By spirit. You can stand in the same room and find you are not hooked. You can hear the same words and discover they do not land. Because this is impersonal law, what blesses you blesses all. Do not try to keep a private miracle. God is no respecter of persons. As the clutch in you releases, the air in the house lightens. Meetings end sooner. The child sleeps easier. Even the pet lies down at your feet. Your workplace feels as if a window has been opened. Your body, this faithful instrument, softens under a presence it could not manufacture. Now you see how much freer this room is, this home is, this hour is, when one stops struggling. Do not turn this into a test. Do not say, if this is God, they will call by noon, or If this is real, the pain will leave by sunset. That is bargaining. That is finitizing God. Behold, and let the fruit appear in its season, first the blade, then the ear. When peace comes, remain in peace. If a step is given, take it gently. If no step is given, do not invent one to quiet your nerves. Take no thought for your life. Watch for simple proofs. Gratitude rising without a speech to provoke it. Generosity offered without calculus. A closed door that no longer condemns you. A new door that opens without your knocking. Words you did not plan, fitting the moment like rainfall. The day organizing itself while you move unhurried through it. These are signs of the invisible at work. You will know you have beheld, not fixed, when peace arrives first, and then life, without your strain, finds its order around the presence that already is. Relax. Relax. Be at peace. Now let us make this a rule you can live by. Not a theory, not a mood, not a burst of devotion that fades with the next email. An exact, daily rule for the compulsive fixer. Your life changes when you make this your rule. Stop the strain, behold the presence, and only then move, if you are led. Hold it as you would a vow. Keep it as you would keep a gate closed against intruders. The sequence is simple, and you must not move out of order. First, stop the tightening. The instant you feel the jaw set, the breath hitch, the shoulders rise, stop. Put up thy sword. Do not answer, do not plan, do not plead. Second, be still and know. Let the words, God is, be your whole prayer. Let the body soften, the hands open, the mind release its grip. Third, listen inwardly. Not for a speech, not for a vision. Listen for peace, for that unforced quiet in which presence is registered. Fourth, take the next right step only if it is given. If it is not given, do not invent one to soothe your nerves. Take no thought for your life. Wait in trust. You must learn the difference between action and reaction. Reaction is the arm of flesh, frantic, repetitive, controlling. It rushes. It explains twice. It sends 3 messages where one would do. It forces timing as if God were late. Action is led by grace, quiet, timely, simple. It does not argue with itself. It leaves no residue of guilt or adrenaline in the body. Ask yourself, before you move, am I pushing or am I being moved? Am I tightening or am I resting? If there is strain, you have already left the practice. Stop. Begin again. Do not make a hero's journey out of this. Take short, quiet periods all through the day. 30 seconds of true beholding will do more than 30 minutes of mental wrestling. Upon waking, before the first device, stop and be still. Before the call, before the meeting, before you send the note, stop and be still. At the doorway of your home, when you cross from one room to another, at the kitchen sink, at the red light, stop and be still. Let the breath fall. Say within, God is, and listen. Not by might nor by power. My peace I give unto you. Receive what is already present. Here is your troubleshooting. If you catch yourself trying to make something happen, forcing a prayer, pushing a timeline, bargaining with heaven, you have stepped out of alignment. Do not condemn yourself. Correct yourself. Now. Put up thy sword. Return at once to the first step. Stop. Be still and know. Begin again without shame. 10 times a day, 100 times. It does not matter. Persistence in return is faith. Finitizing God with your effort is fear. Be released. Be released. And let this be your reassurance as you practice. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. You are not earning it. You are receiving it. God is already being God. When you obey the simple rule, stop, behold, then act if led, you step into what is already yours. Peace will arrive first, then life, without your strain, will find its order around the presence that is. Relax. Relax. Be at peace. Stop the strain. Behold the presence, and only then move, if you are led.